Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are now live here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. We're also live over on Twitch. We're also live over on Kick. If you are new to the channel on YouTube, hit the subscribe button down below. We are live. What's going on, everyone? This is another live edition of Steve's Kitchen here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. It is Monday, June 23rd, 2025. I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend with your loved ones and all that fun stuff. It's hot as all hell up in here right now, here in the Northeast. As we speak right now, it's 94 degrees outside. It's 94 degrees, but it feels like 96. And now, look, I know in other places in the world, the humidity is even more stronger. But, bro, it's going to be like this for the next couple of days. And as someone who works outside, in the airport on the ramp, it's going to be a bitch. It is. But hey, man, it's part of the job. I'm outside, whether it's the cold weather, whether it's the hot weather, whether it's rain, snow, I'm out there. Right. So, I got to, be ready for tomorrow, be ready for that and all that stuff. But again, guys, if you are tuning in now, thank you all for tuning in. But we're getting this show started now as we speak. A lot to discuss, a lot to get into as we speak. Again, guys, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share it through social media with all your loved ones out there. And all that stuff. All right. Now, look, I originally was planning to talk about the John Cena pipe bomb from Friday on SmackDown on CM Punk. I was going to talk about John Jones announcing his retirement and here and there. And then this whole news came out. What happened over the weekend involving the U.S. and Iran and the bombings and what have you. And crazy enough, this coming weekend, it is WWE Night of Champions, which is going down this Saturday live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. All of this took place literally when WWE is supposed to head over to Saudi Arabia right now, right? For the big PLE happening this coming weekend, Night of Champions, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. They do this every single year, right? They go to Riyadh and all that stuff. And here we are. And you hear about this, right? Like you hear about what happened, right? I know a lot of people online are already voicing their opinions, saying, "Oh, they shouldn't go. This is not right." And you know what? I am in agreement. I am in agreement with those of you who say WWE should not go. If there was ever a time, yes, they should postpone the event, right? Do it on a later date, right? I think right now the importance is the safety of the talent and everyone involved right now. Is the safety. That is the important thing right now. And to one second, there we go. Oh, I was ready to say I froze. No. What's up? What up, Steve? This weather, man, the Northeast getting baked right now, brother. You're telling me we're getting baked, and it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazier. But back to this whole thing, right, with Saudi Arabia right now. Okay, there you go. Let me get out of this real quick here, and there you go. Y'all hear me? Do you hear me? Good. I just want to make sure. For whatever reason, my computer decided to do some other bullshit right now, and it's one of those things, Back. We'll do this later. Well, okay, we're done. All right, cool. But it's just one of those situations right now where it's unfortunate what's going on. It is, sadly, it's one of those situations where, yes, thank you for letting me know you hear me. Good. It's crazy what's going on, right? Yes, they should not go. They should not go to Saudi Arabia. Problem is, WWE is gonna WWE. What do I mean with that? Well, they are still gonna go out of their way and go to Saudi Arabia. The show's still happening. As of right now, the show is still happening. Unless we hear something like a breaking news within the next couple of hours. Matter of fact, not even that. Raw is going to go down. Raw will go down in about an hour and change. We'll find out then and there if they're going to move the show, they're going to move it to a later date or cancel altogether. Look, I just don't, again, they should definitely consider postponing the show. But at the same time, it's like, yo, there's a company that's greedy for money. So are they really going to go out of their way and just pull this, and, postpone? I don't see it happening. I think, again, to my understanding right now, production crew are stuck in Qatar right now, to the point where, I guess, the United Emirates, they've canceled all travel. I think the Qatar, in that area, Saudi Arabia, what have you. And it's to a point now, again, yeah, I'm reading it here. The United Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar have announced complete suspensions of all civilian flights through their airspace until further notice. So people are wondering, hey, could Night of Champions be canceled? Chief writes here as well. Is TKO any different than Vince? Vince had his talent go to active wars in the early 2000s. And that's what I'm saying too. Keep in mind, right? I'm saying, again, they should postpone the show, move it to a different city. If you still are so bent on doing it this weekend. And I know there are people who said, oh, you know what? Take the show to the Performance Center, right? Problem is, though, they want to make money off the shit. I mean, I'm sure they can find a building to run the show, even if it's a small capacity, right? Run the show in America, right? Then again, if you want to go big with this, I'm sure Turkey, Al Sheikh, can find a way to get a big building for this show in the States on short notice. He's capable of doing that. But at the same time, let's be honest, WWE would be the ones to, during this difficult time that's been happening in the world, we are the brave ones. We are the ones. And I'm sure, back in the day, that was Vince. Whenever they would do tribute to the troops in Baghdad or, what is it, Iraq or Baghdad, Iraq or Afghanistan, wherever it may be, they would do these shows, again, in the back, wherever, again, where the troops were at in the Middle East. And it'd be one of those things where, hey, first of all, I probably would have not gone, right? But at the same time, it's like, yo, look at us, right? We're not going to turn down blood money. We're not going to turn down the Saudi money, right? So it's a matter of wait till things play out. Let's wait till what happens tonight on Raw. Because I'm pretty sure as of this moment, the Saudi government in their mind, the show's happening. So we have to wait and see. Let this shit play out. Again, I'm sure tonight on Raw, we'll hear something about, the show and whether or not they're going to move it or not. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Do you see them moving the show? Do you see them going through with the show? And again, it's crazy because, again, this was in the back of everyone's mind, literally coming out of, was it Saturday night when the news came out that, exactly. So the show goes on. Trump has already said there was a ceasefire between Iran, and Israel. The war's over. They got to make a decision quick. Talon needs to leave Wednesday to make SmackDown. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, honestly, again, if it was up to me, I would not do the show. That's just me, of course. But they're going to be their choice, whatever they want to do. It's crazy, but, be that as it may, it's a situation where they need to figure this shit out, And again, too, look, I'm seeing people again when it comes to these Saudi Arabia shows. Oh, I'm not watching the show. I'm protesting. I'm not doing this. It is what it is. At this point, you should be aware, they're in bed with Saudi Arabia. That's not going to change. That's why y'all shocked. But let's move on here. Let's move on here. But let me know your thoughts in the chat as well. I know Raw is tonight, and tonight on Raw, this is the preview, I guess, for Raw for tonight. We do have Becky Lynch versus Bayley for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That's going down tonight. You also have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso to see who is going to be the one to face Randy Orton. We're going to face Randy Orton this Saturday at Night of Champions in the King of the Ring finals. You also have Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez in the other semifinal match. The winner of this will go on to face Asuka, who of course advanced, and so did Randy Orton. So that should be interesting. I think from here, yes, I'm going to go with Jade Cargill. I think Jade wins this one for the most part. And I think here, look, you can do a scenario. You can do the scenario. Believe it or not, look, I know everyone's thinking Cody and Randy, which in hindsight is possible, right? But what if WWE decides to throw everybody a curveball, right? Instead of Cody Rhodes winning here, they have Jey Uso win, right? They have Jey Uso win. And then you have Randy win King of the Ring. Or not, take that back. You have Jey go over on Randy. And again, we can still do Cody and Cena at SummerSlam. You could have Jey Uso challenging Randy Orton. How about you have Jey Uso challenging Gunther at SummerSlam? And I'm not alone here, joined by the good brother. Chase, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much, Steve. Just recovering a little bit. Had a rough day with the colon today, but want to stop by kitchen to talk about some of the happenings going on.
So I was talking about this earlier, but for me, in a perfect scenario, they would postpone the show or relocate to a different place, right? In a short amount of time. Thing is, though, that's likely not going to happen. You know what I mean? But what's your
apparently it's on the ceasefire, so everything's good. I guess everything's good. Yeah, apparently
everything's good. I mean, but we'll see. I mean, we'll find out today on Raw whether or not. I mean, again, if they're still promoting like, oh, we're live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, if we still see the drone shots from Saudi Arabia and the on the show promoting the event coming up this weekend, that should just tell you, yeah, it's happening on Saturday. You know what I mean? But it's crazy, bro. Like I said before, it's crazy to think all this went down and everyone's concerned. And again, as they should be. They should be concerned. You know, there's production crew who are stuck in Qatar right now as we speak.
Yeah, that's when they closed. The ability to fly out and stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. It really is interesting what's going on in the world today outside of professional wrestling. You know, there is a world outside of professional wrestling, and I really do hope that the WWE does right by the talent, because without the talent, there is no such thing as the WWE. To be honest, like let's just call it. We see it. WWE is nothing without the performers. The performers are the reason why they make the millions of dollars that they have. They're the larger in life people that people attach themselves to and care about. And so they're nothing without these performers. So they have to really be thinking about the performers' health and then also that well-being in mind and stuff. So hopefully, cooler heads prevail. I know it's hard because it's Riyadh season. Turkey, he offers like a huge fucking bag, and it's like Turkey offers so much money, and it's like so hard to it's hard to say no to that money and stuff. And if there's someone that I can trust, like that an event can go down and I don't think anything bad would happen, it would be Turkey, to be honest. Like Turkey is a very powerful and influential. And if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, when you guys like saying like, especially non-wrestling fans, because they don't know Turkey like this, Steve. Like we know Turkey. But
Oh, we love Turkey here.
yeah, but most non-wrestling fans, they don't know who the fuck he is. Like they will just hear me say this name and they'll like, because you guys gotta understand when WWE does these events in Saudi Arabia, it's under Riyadh season. So WWE really doesn't put in any money towards these events. It's like pretty much a free event for them, and Turkey pays WWE to do this. Like they have a whole WWE experience in Saudi Arabia. Like, and if you guys want a visual of who Turkey is, like if you guys remember that well,
I got it right now. I got it right now.
well, I was gonna say, like, if they want to know if they've ever seen him on WWE television, he was in the ring when Cody got that gigantic championship when he beat Gunther and stuff. He was in the ring for that. So Turkey, he's pretty much Riyadh season. He has all this money. He's the reason why boxing has had all these like mega fights happening and stuff. Like he's a guy that just gets shit done. He funded UFC in the Spear because the UFC was down bad. And so Turkey partnered with Dana White to make sure that the Spear show went down. But yeah, Turkey Al-Ashiki, I think I said his last name right. I just call him Turkey. Yeah, okay, I said it right. Yeah, I always get his. Yeah, I get his last name fucked up a lot of times. But y'all gotta understand this guy right here that you're seeing on screen, Turkey. He's the main person behind this. We like WWE could pull out, and then Turkey could say, "Nah, you ain't fucking pulling out." Like that. That's just how it is. Like, and you guys say, "No, WWE should. They could do this thing." I'm like, "No, y'all never. You guys never dealt with Turkey in your lives. Like, you guys don't know the power this motherfucker has on screen. Like, like WWE, if they pull out of this, Turkey going to make sure, man, they'll pay for it. Like, and that's just how it is. And it's terrible to say. And I'm not. And look, is WWE to be in blame for partnering with Saudi Arabia and all this other stuff? Yeah, you can put blame on WWE for that. Corporate greed for sure. Like it's a bunch of money. But if WWE had a conscience and decided to pull out, who's going to make sure they don't pull out is Turkey and stuff. And even that
on the screen right now, the man you see on the screen right now, he ain't gonna let that happen.
Yeah, I mean, he forced Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford to eat dinner with him, bro. Like two boxers that they don't want to. They're in the middle of a training camp. They have a fight coming up in a couple months. They don't want to fucking be eating dinner with each other. But you know who forced them to eat dinner with each other? Fucking Turkey. Turkey
has that. Go on, I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, Turkey is the most powerful promoter in sports right now. And I suggest a lot of you wrestling fans educate yourself on Riyadh season and what power Turkey Al-Ashiki has. Because if you don't, you're going to realize, oh shit. So there's a reason why WWE, even if they had a moral conscience, and I think WWE's moral conscience is very low. Like it's like a low moral conscience and stuff. But we've seen Triple H cave to the internet before. So he will do it just to boost his own ego. Like that's the only reason why Triple H would ever pull out. If things were much worse over in Iran, and stuff, they definitely would try to pull out. But guess who wouldn't let them pull out is Turkey. And Turkey, he's a guy who gets shit done. So yeah,
he does. He doesn't fuck around. And again, to give you like this, his press, he has like that Lord Beerus vibe to him. Does that make sense, Trace? He has like a Lord Beerus vibe to him.
Yeah, he's the ultimate final boss. Like he is the ultimate. He has billions of dollars. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And
and just make sure, like just like Lord Beerus, you give him nice delicacies, right? Bring up your best meals ever and shit. His Excellency Turkey Al-Ashiki.
Yeah, no, right. The one thing with Turkey, like people got to understand, man. The one thing with Turkey is you're not going to get away with bullshitting this guy. Like this guy will not take no for an answer. Like you know how many people, and I'll say this as a Dana White person, as someone that watches Dana White stuff, he has shitted on every powerful fucking promoter on the planet. Doesn't matter what your status is or anything. He has shitted on them and said they're idiots and all that other stuff. You know how many times he had
this man.
You know how many times he had opportunities to shit on Turkey Al-Ashiki? He could have easily, absolutely shitted on Turkey. Like he was so close to doing it, but he never did it. Do you know why? Because there's a fear with this man. There is something about this human being that strikes fear, even in the courageous Dana White, the guy that doesn't back down from a fight, he stood up to COVID. Dana White, he wasn't afraid of no disease. He still ran the UFC. We got jobs to do and everything. Every promoter in the world, Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, anyone, think of any promoter in the world.
Al
Heyman, Vince McMahon. He even shit on Vince at one point. You know, like he has shit on every single motherfucker in the world except for this man right here. And that should tell you something how powerful this guy is. If Dana White, who, and you wonder, why is this such a big deal, Chase? Why are you bringing this up? Because Dana White ran Noche UFC against Canelo Alvarez and pretty much could have said that Turkey was an idiot, but didn't. So,
yeah. Not only that, now Turkey Al-Sheikh is responsible for Dana White promoting this Canelo and Bud Crawford fight coming up.
Yep.
And real soon. So again, this man's powerful. Very fucking powerful.
He's part of the TKO brass.
He is at the end of the day. So we'll see what happens on Monday. Well, today is Monday. Well, later today on Raw, we'll see what happens if they decide to pull the plug.
WWE is going. WWE's going. So
exactly. Turkey is the real life final boss, basically. Yes, Weston. He is. It's not only a ceasefire, but money always wins, and WWE ain't giving up that money. For sure they're not. Cody already pinned Cena at Money in the Bank, so theoretically he should already have a title shot. Which, again, is going back to what I'm saying. There is some truth to it. So, Chase, I was basically saying, my thoughts for Raw tonight. I do think that Bayley does retain, right?
Bayley.
You have. My bad. Becky retains. Yeah, Becky retains. I'm sorry. Becky does retain.
That'd be crazy if Bayley retained, but okay.
Yeah, Becky retains, right? Jade Cargill and Roxanne Perez, the winner, faces Asuka, who on Friday did advance, right, after defeating Alexa Bliss. I will say, you know what? Roxanne Perez is going to give it her all, but I think they're going to give it to Jade Cargill at the end when it comes to this match right here. Would you agree with that, Chase? Or
no? I think Roxanne wins.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can do that too. I mean, this idea that now that Liv is hurt, right? You want to throw more salt to the wound. Yeah, I can see that.
I can see Naomi coming out, costing Jade. I don't think Jade needs to be at SummerSlam, like for the title shot. I think that's too long of a wait. It's just too much stalling. They're already teasing Naomi cashing in the briefcase. If you're doing so hard for Naomi to do these teases of cashing in, I mean, because like Friday, they're doing the last woman standing. Naomi could possibly cash in after that match or during that match, per se. And then I guess it would make sense if Jade wins Queen of the Ring. And then they have it where we hold off until Jade and Naomi, a WrestleMania rematch at SummerSlam for the title. This time it counts. No juice in there because Naomi doesn't have a win over Jade. She doesn't have something over Jade to make me care. And I could see it where Naomi, doesn't want Jade to succeed. Jade's promo on SmackDown didn't come off as a promo where it felt like she was a favorite to win. Roxy feels like she has the most momentum. And do we as human beings forget how much Triple H loves Asuka? Are we just going to pretend that this guy didn't have Asuka beat Bianca Belair at her peak in Saudi Arabia for the women's title? Like it's so funny when people complain about wrestlers being booked, and I hate when they go, "Oh, they don't like Asuka." I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, during the Vince era, it sucked for Asuka. She was just pretty much there. But for Triple H, like, the fuck we talking about? He gives Asuka every opportunity. Gave Asuka a nothing WrestleMania match with Bianca Belair. No reason for that match to happen at WrestleMania, but gave it to her. Like, we're going to sit here and say that? Like, I think Asuka, Roxanne Perez, like, I think that's a good Queen of the Ring final. Asuka versus Io, I feel, has great legs for SummerSlam. It's a first time ever one-on-one match, like for a title that we haven't seen. Like, yeah, they've gone one-on-one for non-title, but I'm talking about championship level match. We haven't seen that before between these two women. be good. I
For the
think that'd
big
be good.
event in the summer too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I think Jade could go to Evolution just fine. I think there's definitely going to be some tomfoolery in this match. There's going to be some tomfoolery in this match. And I think it'll be Roxanne. Like, just like how the men's King of the Ring is going to have SmackDown versus SmackDown, I think the women's King of the Ring is going to have Raw versus Raw. So that's why
Okay.
I'm going with Roxanne. I think Jade, like, you know, because look, who had Lyra last year going all the fucking way like she did?
Lyra Valkyria? No one.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't like she was that much of a favorite. She
No,
was
she
in,
made it all the way. She lost to
yeah.
Nia
So,
Jax.
so I'm believing in Roxanne Perez. I think Roxanne can win this match tonight. Go on, have a great competitive match with Asuka. And like we said, could also build to the live story even more if Roxanne wins Queen of the Ring. Like Jade, I feel like will get screwed tonight. And this could lead to something where when Naomi tries to cash in on Friday, Jade comes out and screws Naomi there. You know what I'm saying and stuff.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
and
Absolutely.
let's be real. Jade's appeal is that rocking, super buff action figure body. We're gonna hide that in the suit in Saudi Arabia. Like we're gonna do that. I don't know. That make no sense to me.
I
So
mean, she's been there before, though, right? Didn't she go to Saudi before?
yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, that's not Jade's scene and stuff. And I don't think Jade needs Queen of the Ring to ever challenge for a title. I just don't think so. So that's why I think Roxanne can win this match. I'm going with Roxanne Perez. I think that I know it's an upset pick, but I think I backed it up with good rational thinking and good and legit kind of, hey, there's other routes you can do with this.
Yeah, for sure. And then we got obviously Cody and Jay. I was saying earlier, what was it? I think it was, it was Draven who noted, Cody already pinned the Money in the Bank, so theoretically, he should already have a title shot. I mean, you could go that route, right? You could pull like the big shock. Oh, Jey Uso beats Cody Rhodes, right? And he goes on to face Randy Orton. Because the idea would be, hey, I'm pretty sure they will want to have a Raw versus SmackDown final at least, right? In the men's, that is. And you could do where, hey, Jay wins King of the Ring, right? He challenges Gunther again. And then you could still do Cody and Cena.
Yeah.
You don't need to have Cody win King of the Ring. And then that's where Seth eventually cashes in or whatever it may be, Or maybe he waits till Saturday's main event. Who knows, bro? Maybe by the time we get to Saturday night's by the time we get to SummerSlam, bro, it's gonna be Seth Rollins and Jey Uso versus Gunther. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot could happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot could fucking happen, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't think Jay. I think this is one of the best matches WWE can give you for a weekly television main event. Two massively over baby faces in the semifinals for the King of the Ring. Like, oh my god, this is like the stuff that like when I was a kid you get excited for. Like this is like why you watched Monday Night Raw and stuff. Like yeah, there's like sometimes filler fluff and not always the best, but like matches like this, like Cody and Jay, like this could be on a PLE and stuff. And this is about pride and respect. And it's such a good match. I'm so excited to see how this one is executed. The crowd's going to be on fire for both individuals. Both guys are going to go out there and perform really well for this crowd tonight. But yeah, I think Cody wins, and then Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. That's the move. And I do think Cody wins King of the Ring, and that's how we get Cena versus Cody 2 at SummerSlam.
for sure. But that's going down. And again, SmackDown real quick. Again, is going down this Friday live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
That'd be crazy if Jay wins. That's overpowered booking, bro. He wins the Rumble, wins the fucking WrestleMania, and then the King of the Ring. Like, too overpowered.
I mean, it's possible. Well, yeah, this Friday on SmackDown, you do have Tiffany Stratton defending the women's championship in the last women's standing match against Nia Jax. You also have Zelina Vega defending the women's U.S. championship against Julia. And, of course, you have the tag team title match. You have the Wyatts, two members of the Wyatt Six. I believe that's Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis going up against. I know that's not Dexter Loomis anymore, but you know what I mean. Okay, against the Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening this Friday on SmackDown. I don't think the Wyatts will win the titles though. In my humble opinion, I don't think that's happening. You think that's happening, Chase?
There's a chance. I mean, you're having this Night of Champions thing on SmackDown. I think Tippy's safe to retain, but you kind of want a couple title changes because let's look at the PLE. There's
Sure.
probably not going to be I'm not saying break down the card right now, but the
Yeah.
PLE there's like what 3 title matches on the card
Yep.
so far. IC, US, and WWE World Heavyweight.
Yep. Wait.
Do we think any of those belts are going to change hands?
No, I
Yeah.
don't see any title changing. This will be the show.
AJ Styles probably has the best chance of winning the belt. So I think
Also,
SmackDown, we might see 2 title changes. I think Oogly Boogly and Julia will be the champions. And then Tiffany Stratton will retain the WWE title. I don't see her losing her belt until Saturday night's main event.
could very well be. Speaking of
Or
Night of
Evolution.
Champions, or that for sure. Speaking of Night of Champion, they also announced on SmackDown that it will be Solo Sikoa getting a shot at the United States Championship as he goes up against the current defending WWE US champion and Jacob Fatu. I mean, it's a match that people were expecting at WrestleMania, but at the same time, it's cool that they're doing this now. And it's like now all of a sudden Jacob's this baby face. Who knows? Maybe this is where if I'm doing, I know we're doing probably previews probably tomorrow, but if I'm to do an early one, I think we do see someone making an appearance. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Would you agree on that, or
For what?
do you see an appearance being made here? A newest addition of the family.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Maybe so. But now that we got there's still some wrestling discussions here. I'm sure I don't know how many of you guys saw on Saturday, but there was Collision. And the big thing there was that Kota Ibushi made his return. He basically was presented by Mark Briscoe, and they ended up brawling with he got in the ring, he got into it with Okada. And look, it's cool to see him back. There was a photo here. I thought I had it, but he looks like he's in better spirits now. I will say that. Did you see any of these clips, Chase, by the way? Clips or anything like that of his return?
Yeah, I saw it.
What's your thoughts, bro?
I mean, he's around. That's good.
It's good to see him back. I know he's gonna make an appearance this Wednesday on Dynamite. But it's good to see him around. It's good to see him back, and we'll see where things go from here. But pretty much, if I'm to make a bold prediction, he's probably going to face Okada for a match on Dynamite, and that's when Omega makes his return.
Yeah, because they kind of got to start revving up the gears a little bit for this Kenny versus
Okada.
Yeah, Okada match. So yeah, I would say so.
For this unified title.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be in this again. It's a nice looking belt, I will say. Why they wasted a Ibushi return for Collision? Nobody can't watch a Collision. Come on, TK. That's the point. This is what happened when you miss Collision.
They want people to watch Collision. Like I get where people are saying, like, what's the point of doing it when people quote unquote don't watch Collision and stuff? They want you to watch Collision. That's the whole point. They want you to be like, oh, I can't miss Collision on Saturday because it's a very important show to check out and stuff. So that's the thing they want you to go and watch this show. They want you to spend time to watch Collision and stuff. So yeah,
Someone posted that basically. Kota Ibushi returning from an AEW collision is why you never skip a collision, and that's the picture basically of them two in the ring.
They want you to they want you to watch this show and stuff, and so it's up to you if you want to watch Collision. You don't have to, but it is something that I give Tony Khan credit for. He's been trying his best to get people to care about that show, and he wants people to watch it and make it where it's a premiere show to watch. It's just at a terrible time. It's just that time slot is just very, very rough for it, so
yeah, I mean, honestly, if they want to move it to Thursday, that'll be cool. Or if not, you know what? Tape it after Dynamite, right? Because I remember that was like a test to see, all right, could we put the show after Dynamite? I mean, possible, but I prefer honestly a Thursday show for that, but still. But yeah, Kota Ibushi's back and likely, hopefully now he's in a better place. And we'll see what the bell rings. We'll see what happens on that. Also, they announced that Slammiversary, which is happening on July 20th, they announced that Joe Henry will be the one getting the shot at the TNA World Champion Trick Williams. And it's got a lot of people very, very feeling some kind of way because everyone was under the impression that it was going to be Mike Santana. I still feel like he'll be added to the match for the most part. But again, I like people, giving their thoughts, and it's crazy to think, right? People don't want to see Joe Henry in this match, even though he is due for a rematch, right? He did lose the title against Trick. What was it at what was that pay-per-view? Oh my goodness. Rebellion? Was it Rebellion?
It was an NXT pay-per-view.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was oh my goodness, Battleground. It was Battleground, right?
Yeah, Battleground. Yeah, I almost said Deadline.
Yeah, for a second there too, but yeah, you would think, hey, he should get his rematch, but I just think right now it's not gonna happen. I just think now, if you're TNA, you should build around Mike Santana. You know what I mean? And also factoring in, you are in New York, right? UBS Arena. As of late, I still think tickets right now, as we speak, are kind of up there. You know what I mean? But I did see tickets for like $40-something, I think it was.
Yeah, the show's not selling well. Like, we just gotta be honest with it. Like, they felt adding like a Trick Williams would do something, but it just hasn't.
Yeah, it hasn't. And I'm trying to get like the Wrestle Tick information right now. It's loading up right now. This was, mind you, this was literally 2 days ago. So as we speak right now, their current setup is 4,229. Once again, at the UBS Arena where Dynamite was taped, was happening back in the day, back in Long Island, right? Currently, they have sold 2,611 tickets. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes down. But they probably, like you said, they probably thought Trick will be the big boost for the ticket sales, and it's not the case at all. That's what it is. But I do think Mike Santana will get added. So people just need to relax on that, But anywho, anything else you want to add to that, Chase? Or
no, I mean, it is what it is with NXT right now. So
yeah,
go
on. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it just is what it is. And NXT, this partnership, it's not drawing eyes on TNA like TNA thought it would. So
yeah,
it happens.
They should have Trick doing more interviews and advertising TNA. They probably are. You know what I mean? But it's just that TNA right now, they're just happy that they're working with WWE. So at this point, they'll just, whatever you guys want, we'll do. No problem whatsoever. So that's just what it is. They're just they're just happy to be working with WWE right now. Which again, if you would have told us back in 2014 that was going to happen, we probably would not believed you. Or if not, we probably would have been like, probably, if WWE buys them out, but that's not happening anytime soon. But also what happened over the weekend on Friday on SmackDown was the John Cena pipe bomb. After John Cena wrestled R-Truth, the match didn't go long. It was a whatever match. I think it ended disqualification. Punk came out and Cena laid him out. And he proceeded to cut his version of the pipe bomb. And let me just say, yes, were there parts where, Cena used words that Punk used in 2011? Yes, funny enough. Cena wrestled R-Truth in 2011 when Punk cut the pipe bomb. And now here he is years later wrestling R-Truth once again, cutting this pipe bomb. And I thought it was very well done. Yes, there's some of the words that were kind of similar, but in the part where he's like, oh, back then you were fighting against the establishment and now he's a millionaire, that being Punk. He's not the voice of the voice. He's a capitalist now and shit like that. I thought he was, again, on fire with his promo. And then he referenced, obviously, Claudio. He referenced Matt Cardona and Nick Nemeth. Got everyone going crazy on social media, obviously. I know Matt Cardona promoted his new T-shirt on social media. Was on Pro Wrestling Tees. But again, it was a good-ass promo, man. Your thoughts on this, Chase?
Yeah, I thought it was a very strong promo. Been crazy. It's been years since the original CM Punk pipe bomb. And then John Cena, he cut a really, really strong version, a good imitation of it. I wouldn't say it's Cena's greatest promo of all time. I think that goes to the Roman Reigns roast, where he absolutely destroyed the tribal chief before the big dog, not the tribal chief, the big dog, Roman Reigns. Yeah. But yeah, I thought Cena was very, very good here. The best part of his heel run so far. And he got the crowd actually behind it. Like, the crowd was very, very happy with this promo. They very much enjoyed this promo a lot. So,
of course they did, and that's the thing about this too. Like, Cena, it was a good promo, but like you said, I thought the Roman one from 2017 was still like his top work ever. Roman writes here, promo of the year, fried his ass. He fried obviously CM Punk, and again, too, it just makes it. Let's be honest, this is probably the best of the Cena heel turn right now. This retirement tour, this is like the peak right now. And keep in mind, there's still time left, right? I'm sure he's going to wrestle at SummerSlam, and then probably after that, we probably won't see him till like the end of the year to make sure his dates aren't all used up and shit. Weston writes here, what Cena pipe bomb made me realize is either that Cena is really great or CM Punk is kind of overrated, because he made the pipe bomb look like it was easy, like anyone can do it. I mean, Cena over the years on the mic has always been good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And also, we got to keep in mind, he kind of just ripped off what Punk said. It wasn't like none of the material was original. He just changed some words around. So we're not going to discredit CM Punk on the mic just because Cena changed a couple words. Like, I think that's ridiculous. Like, yeah, I think that's kind of ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to discredit CM Punk just because John Cena decided, I'm going to change a couple words around here, Jack. Like,
Yes. So again, overall, I enjoyed it. The match on Saturday, look, is Punk winning? No. But it's going to be a fun match. They're going to play the hits for the most part, but we'll see how that goes down and stuff like that. Before we put a bow on this, obviously, Chase, I'm sure we all heard what happened on Saturday at the conclusion of UFC Fight Night in Baku, Azerbaijan. If I butchered the name, I apologize. Yes, we all saw Khalil Roundtree defeat Jamal Hill, right? We all saw that happening. But the big thing people are talking about from this past Saturday is not even the main event fight. The fact that John Jones announced his retirement on social media. You would have thought, Chase, there would have been a big press conference, right? No, it just happened out of the blue. Dana White at the press conference told the media that John Jones officially announced his retirement. And John posted this on his social media. Obviously, today I'm officially announcing my retirement from the UFC. This decision comes after a lot of reflection, and I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for the journey I have experienced over the years. From the first time I stepped into the octagon, my goal was to push the boundaries of what was possible in the sport. becoming the youngest UFC champion in history, defending my title against some of the best fighters in the world, and sharing unforgettable moments with fans across the globe. These are moments, these are memories I'll cherish forever. I faced incredible highs and some tough lows, but every challenge has taught me something valuable. It made me stronger, both as a fighter and as a person. I want to thank the UFC Dana, Hunter, Lorenzo, God, my family, coaches, teammates, and all the fans who have stood by me through every chapter. Your unwavering support and belief in me have been my foundation. To my fellow fighters, thank you for bringing out the best in me, for the respect we've shared inside and outside the cage. As I close this chapter of my life, I look forward to the new opportunities and challenges ahead. MMA will always be part of who I am, and I'm excited to see how I can continue to contribute to the sport and inspire others in new ways. Thank you all for being part of this incredible journey with me. The best is yet to come. What was going through your mind too when you heard all this shit?
I kind of wasn't surprised. I never thought the Aspinall fight was going to happen, to be honest. Like,
Of course, Roman writes the duck emoji, ducking.
yeah. I'm in disagreement with the ducking, just because, like, to me, Romeo's different. Romeo's been watching UFC for a little bit, so he doesn't understand. John Jones has not ducked anyone, like, at all during his career. The only time he said no to a fight was a Chael Sonnen fight, late replacement, just because Chael Sonnen trained with Dan Henderson and gave Dan Henderson and knew all the techniques that Dan Henderson was going to do, and it was a different style. I am not going to call it a duck. I am just literally saying that John Jones, he has done everything he could in the sport, and if he beats Tom Aspinall, nothing changes his legacy at all. Like, for a guy like Romeo, or maybe someone that watched a little bit in 2008, then fell off, or newer fans that just recently got into the sport, yeah, they will respect John Jones a little bit more. But really, to be honest, John Jones is beating the best of the best. Aspinall is just a guy that, is hyped up by the fans. And I think John looked at it where Aspinall is not really that big of a draw, and John Jones is more about the pay-per-view points, and Aspinall was not going to get him the pay-per-view points at all. So, yeah, I think a lot of fans just need to understand that Jones, it was a business decision not to fight Tom Aspinall. There was a reason why he chose to fight Stipe Miocic, because business-wise, it made sense for John Jones to fight Stipe Miocic. Him fighting Tom Aspinall, business-wise, it doesn't make sense for him. So I give him his props. He did his thing and stuff. Like, people want to say he's ducking, that's fine. I am just saying, like, I don't treat this as a duck, because to me, a duck is where you are, like, to me, a duck is this: you're in your prime, and then later on you choose not to fight another guy in your prime. That's ducking. John Jones is not in his prime anymore. He's much older, and he has clearly stated what he wanted. Like, we know what fights interest John Jones. He has said Francis Ngannou was a guy who was in his prime that people would love to see, or Alex Pereira, a guy that, is not really in his prime anymore. Like, we may think he is because he's been incredible these last 3 years, but he's not in his prime, Alex Pereira. He's a guy in the similar position of John Jones, where it's like, hey, I'm at the tail end of my career, so John Jones would like that fight. That's a challenge right there. So for John Jones to face a guy like Tom Aspinall, it's like, all right, cool, yeah, you face Tom Aspinall. Guess what? Fans are going to be like, oh, why is he fighting this heavyweight now? Blah, 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 and all that other stuff. So to me, it's not a duck, because John Jones is not in his prime. He's a much older fighter. If this was John Jones in his prime and he was like, no, I'm not fighting Tom Aspinall at all, then yeah, you're ducking him. Like, you're clearly ducking him.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day,
ducking is totally different when a guy is out of his prime in a different headspace than the guy that's chasing the fight. Like, John Jones wasn't chasing this fight. We know what fights John Jones wanted. He wanted Pereira. He wanted Francis Ngannou. Those are the two fights that he wanted. He didn't want Tom Aspinall. He had no interest in Tom Aspinall.
Yeah. And the thing about it too, and now if you're Tom Aspinall, look, now you are officially the undisputed heavyweight champion. Again, look, it sucks because again, I'm sure everyone wanted to see, there's a good majority of people who want to see the fight for the most part, but now it's like, yo, would you want him to wait though? Keep on waiting for something that's not even gonna happen, you know? And now here we are.
He's either gonna fight Pereira or he's gonna fight Cyril Gane.
Likely, yeah. I think, yeah. Again, he's likely, yes, is fighting Cyril Gane probably next. And then I'm sure Dana will be asking, hey, Pereira, hey, do you really want to fight?
No, Dana's first choice is gonna be Pereira. He's gonna ask Alex, hey, what do you want? Do you want to fight Aspinall for the heavyweight title? Alex will think about it. He'll be like, does it make sense? Chama, do I do it or do I want my light heavyweight belt back? But then Alex will look at it like, hey, I could become the first ever 3-division champion in UFC history.
Yeah,
why not? I'll go fight Tom Aspinall. Sure, that'll be his first choice. Second choice is Cyril Gane. That's it. That's his only options. And the thing about Aspinall is this: the Pereira fight favors Aspinall a lot more. I think Aspinall will do well against Pereira, but everyone's sleeping on Cyril Gane. He may be boring, but he can kick people's ass. So
yeah.
That's why I'm telling people, don't sleep on Cyril Bonganye Gane. You can fall asleep watching him, but don't sleep on him beating Aspinall because we haven't seen Aspinall face someone on this technical level like Cyril Gane, especially on the feet. But yeah, Pereira's the first choice. Pereira will be the first choice. It's going to be at the Garden. You got to sell at the Garden. Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall. Because here's the thing. Dana needs to prove John Jones wrong about Tom Aspinall. And stuff. He wants to show like, oh, Aspinall can draw. And if Aspinall can't sell at the Garden, then it's like, oh yeah, Tom Aspinall couldn't draw. See, I was right.
So,
there was a reason why I didn't want to fight him.
So right now, as we speak on sportsbetting.ag, Tom Aspinall is a minus 350, while Gane is a plus 285. So
yeah, no, it's just
that's a man. But I mean, look, man, for John Jones, man, look, all I can say is for someone who's watched him since literally 2011, like, bro, thank you. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for fighting the best of the best. Legend of the sport. Whatever y'all may feel about him, look, man, the man fought everyone and beat everyone in his prime. Shogun, Rampage, Rashad Evans, right? Lyoto Machida. Was it Vitor Belfort almost beat him, right?
Yeah. He bought the best of the best.
Yes. Exactly. Gustafson twice, DC twice.
Mm-hmm.
Even like later on in his career, even when some of the fights have gone to decision, obviously, right? The Dominic Reyes fight, the Anthony Smith fight, the Thiago Santos fight as well, and
yeah, the Thiago Santos fight. That's probably the worst performance of John Jones's career, to be honest. Like Santos is on one fucking leg, and he almost gets and he splits decisions with them.
Yeah. I know I'm probably missing a couple, like Glover Teixeira is another one too.
Oh yeah, he destroyed Glover. That was like probably his second best performance in his career.
So at the end of the day, John's a legend of the sport, bro. So you can't take that away from him. You cannot. At the end of the day, we'll see what he does now. I know there's been a report about some crime that he committed or something. That's why
that could also be a factor why he retired too. He don't want to deal with legal troubles while he's fucking in a fight camp and shit, and they want this in November and stuff.
Yeah, so look, man, sometimes it happens, dude. But sometimes things we may not want to see happen, they end up happening. That's just the way that it is. For Tom Aspinall, now look, you're the heavyweight champ. It's what you wanted, and now the heavyweight division can move on.
Just focus on the guys in front of you. You don't have to focus about John Jones anymore. And if John Jones if you can prove John Jones wrong, then John Jones will fight you, because John Jones will always be around. It's like John Jones is an athletic freak. He will be around to fight you. It's just Tom Aspinall is not a draw. And the only reason why John Jones agreed to the fight in the first place was because the only reason why John Jones agreed originally to the fight was so that way he could just get them off the UFC off the back. He was tired of UFC asking because UFC gave him options for Pereira as well, and then Pereira lost. So that's the only reason why he agreed to fight Aspinall, because he wanted to fight Pereira first. If you ask John Jones, I guarantee you, he would have fought Pereira first, and that would have happened in International Fight Week. That would have happened this weekend. Pereira would have fought John Jones this weekend for the heavyweight title, and then in New York he would have fought Tom Aspinall, but that didn't happen. So we could really blame Alex Pereira for this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's his fault. But before we put a bow on this trade, do you want to just preview real quick UFC 317, which goes down this Saturday, live from T-Mobile Arena?
Sure, Steve. I'm just starving and my dinner's upstairs, but you keep adding subjects. But sure, we can do that. I'm not going to break it down in full detail.
Yeah, quick little preview. That's all. We do have Payne Tabo versus Felipe Lima. Payne Tabo, who in his last fight, was a massive underdog and he shat the bed.
Give me a massive favorite.
It was massive. Yeah, you're right, massive favorite, and he shat the bed.
Yep.
Likely. There's no odds for this, so I'll go with Felipe Lima. Why not?
Yeah, I'll go with Lima.
Yeah, Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. To my understanding, Joshua Van taking this fight on short notice.
Yep. Royval was supposed to fight Manel Kopp. Kopp pulled out. This is like his sixth pullout in the UFC today. And now Joshua Van, his sixth fight in 365 days. Crazy.
It's insane, bro. He could pull this off when he ran out to plus 105.
He has power, but I think Royval has the skill and the experience. Like Van, like his story. I think he's a nice kid, but I think Royval will out-experience him in this fight.
Okay, but we'll see how that goes. Then we got the lightweight fight. We have Benil Dariush going up against Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano, last time we saw him, took a UFC lightweight title fight against Islam Makhachev on short notice. But be that as it may, here he is now, because he was supposed to originally fight Benil Dariush, right? And the whole thing happened with Arman Sarukian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Renato Moicano on this. I'm going with Moicano.
It's a tough fight. Yeah. Dariush is no slouch. Moicano, he's been fun. He's been entertaining. I'm sure he's the fan favorite. I'm actually gonna go Dariush here. I think Dariush can do something. Moicano, he tends to fall behind in fights.
That's true. From there, we got flyweight title fight, co-main event. Alexandre Pantoja defending the UFC flyweight championship against Kai Kara-France. I will say Pantoja retains, even though I'm not sleeping on Kara-France. He can pull it off here. But my thing is, after this, like, who do you know what I mean? Like, what's after this, you know? What do you think, Chase?
Yeah, I think Kara-France will put up a decent fight, but I think Pantoja in the later rounds will just do what he normally does. Like, if he's not liking what he sees on the feet, he'll just take you down and just destroy you on the ground. So yeah, Pantoja wins in a decision.
And then we got the main event for the UFC vacant lightweight title. We have the former featherweight champion Ilya El Matador Topuria going up against the former UFC lightweight champion Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Everything here is like set up for Ilya Topuria to win, right? But at the same time, like, you can't sleep on Charles Oliveira. You know, the whole, like, the champion has a name, right? And it's Charles do Bronx, and right. Because how many times have we like said, "Oh, Charles is not going to win," and he ends up beating Michael Chandler, ends up beating Dustin Poirier, ends up beating Justin Gaethje, right? So it's possible, it's very possible. But I just think right now it's just Topuria's time, bro. So I'm going with Ilya Topuria.
Yeah, I got Topuria as well. I like Charles, but the Legend Killer is going to destroy him.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. The question is, does he do it before round 3. I would say probably around. I know you said round 1.
I would say at least round 3. He's been finishing people about like round 2, round 3. Like round 1, he just gauges himself, and then recently he's just been finishing people in round 3. The only guy he hasn't finished was Josh Emmett. So
yeah. But that's basically it. That's gonna be it for us, guys. Thank you all for watching. Much love to all of you. If you have not yet subscribe to the channel. Also check us out over on Kick and also on Twitch. We'll be back live tomorrow for the Raw Rundown here on the channel as well. You guys can, what the heck? There you go. There you go. But that being said, guys, yeah, follow the Around the Point Network over on X at AT Point Network. Follow me on X at Heel Steven Chase. Let them know where can they check you out.
Yeah, just follow me on X at Chase 68.
That's going to be it for us, guys. Much love to all of you. As always, for myself, for Chase, this has been Steve's Kitchen here on the Around the Point Network.
Listen. Fuck up. Get out.